One of the greatest privileges that we have as human beings is the privilege of enjoying aesthetic, the privilege of enjoying art. We're probably the only species on earth that can enjoy art, that can enjoy the nuances and layering of artistry. If you think about any culture, we have varying cuisines, varying colors of fabric, varying types of fabric, varying styles of fashion, different types of how we dress, different types of clothing, and different music, different art, different sculpture, even different architecture. And I think that all of this, in many ways, is developed. It's developed because of the way we grow up, because of our surroundings, and also because of who we interact with and what we see as in our community and in our society. So something that is considered beautiful by my grandmother is not necessarily considered beautiful by my niece. So there is a difference in the aesthetic understanding of beauty, even in terms of how you dress. My grandmom likes someone to have a middle parting, a big bindi, oiled hair, long braid, in a sari. My niece thinks it's beautiful to have her hair flowing, no bindi, torn shorts. My grandmother will be upset by the torn shorts because she'll be like, why are you wearing torn clothes? Don't we have enough money to get you nice clothes? Please don't wear things that are torn. So now this is a very simple, normal thing of aesthetic, but when it extends to classical art, this becomes something that is developed. And those of us who have had the privilege of experiencing different types of art, we must be really thankful for it, because of this experience, we have the ability to not just appreciate art, but we also have the ability to choose what we like. So someone can like operatic music, someone can like Indian classical music, someone can like hip hop, someone can like electronic. So there is an array of musical choices, and we have the ability as humans to appreciate aesthetic, and that is one of the most beautiful privileges that one can enjoy living in this world. Now if we come to Bharatanatyam specifically, it does have a very specific vocabulary, a very specific aesthetic, and it is something that is developed, like the taste of bamboo shoots. It's something I didn't like when I was a kid, but now I enjoy it. I love Thai food now. So it is a developed taste, and it is also the same developing, like a cultivated appreciation for a particular type of art exists, and more so for the classical forms of art, because they are so stylized and they are so, different in terms of expression and communication. So popular culture usually is more accessible to everyone, and classical arts, even contemporary dance and different kinds of, indie music, as well as classical dance forms in India, all of these require a cultivated taste. So if you haven't watched Bharatanatyam, this is my urge, or my asking of all of you. If you haven't watched Bharatanatyam, before you decide whether you like it or not, please watch at least 4 to 5 performances. It's only with audience members, and it's only with people like you that dancers like me can exist. So I would like, if there are more Bharatanatyam dancers and there is more classical Indian dance on stage, but we need all of you to also say, hey, let me give this a chance. So I hope that you do, and I hope that you're in a Bharatanatyam performance seated in the audience soon.